Oh, it's been a while since we heard this music. Hold up. Hello, everybody. Let me just switch our little visual screen, if I can find it. Let's see. And there we go. Yeah, we're back. And with a new model, too. So we can put ourselves like right here. Start the timer. Oh my god, it really has been a while since we played this. Hold up, let's see. When was our last save? February of last year. Shoot, it really has been a while. Alright, hold up. Let me make sure I have all the chats up on here so I can see all your comments and things. And we will post this on Twitter. Let's go. We're doing a lot of things in the beginning because we just got back. Took a shower, we had some coffee. We made some coffee. And now we're just here. Mess. Now. And get slightly cozy. No, Rez, no. Not no. Well, at least I get to use the the preview PNG that I did. Or where is it? Hold up. Where did I put it? Hello? Am I blind? Sort by date. There it is. Oh my god. I really am getting back into this. Oh, question is, am I ready? Am I ready for the mess that we were left with? God, what was the last thing I remember? There was Chase forcing a kiss on TJ. That was the thing that stood out the most. But now we're back in the hotel. Hi, there's Otter IRL. Yeah, boy. How tall is Chase anyway? Just realized. Yeah. Alright. I said I'm shorter than Chase? What the hell? Why am I shorter than Chase? I am a small burb. Dang, you TJ. I'm 5'5". Both in model and IRL. Oh my god, I am the small bean. Jesus. Why am I the small bean? No. Oh my god. Chase is 1 foot tall. Yeah, you're right. Chase is only a foot tall and he's easily puntable. Oh my god. Right now we're just posting the things on our socials that we're live and such. And we get to use the thing that we made. Can I show it on screen? Actually, I think I can show it on screen. Hold up. So y'all can see this. Hold up. I still find it funny. All right, hold hold up. You're gonna see a weird box up there first. There it is. The thing I made. Oh my god, it's a red flag. Can I make it this? Can I make this the same size as? Hold up, wait, hold up. Yeah, that's what I made because of this model. Where? Wait, no. Where is? If I can find the. Okay, where's the cover dog? I need to find this boyo. If I can find the cover dog, I'll swap it. Where is it? Where are you? Okay, the VN overlay is over there. Is it in the VN overlays? Yeah, it is. We're good. TJ is taller? Hello? Excuse me? Really? Why is he taller? The hell? Why is TJ tall bean? Why is he tall bean? Also, why can't... Oh, let me unlock that. There we go. Oh my god. You just checked the Echo website? Alright. I'll take y'all's word on it. Alright? Let's see. Let me make everything over here. Alright. And I think we're set. We posted everywhere. We have posted everything and everywhere. It didn't state Jenna's height. I'm assuming Jenna's slightly smaller. We're shrinking every time I heard Chase's height. Jesus. But like overall, from what we played last night, we come to the conclusion that if Chase had never met any one of these characters, everyone would have been okay at some point. They would have been at least okay with their lives. Like, ugh. Chase is the real asshole of the game. All right. Oh, just had my coffee. All right. Ugh. Now, here's hoping that we don't crash on the YouTube end again. These guys let me know if the screen freezes. That's my only worry, because I visibly can't see the YouTube stream, nor can I see if anything's frozen at the moment. All right. Let's see if it can if I can change my PNG. Use your Echo PNG. My Echo PNG? My old one? Aw, but I like this one. Plus, VTuber Mama wants me to use her updated artwork. Ooh. We have this at least for our cover dog. This is fine enough. All right. You don't have to. Yeah. Like honestly, if I somehow can get someone to draw me in an Echo style as an Echo character for visual novels, I will forever use that for visual novels. That'll be great. All right. Let's go. Oh my god, what was his voice? Otter, you in there? Oh my god, I cringe, squeezing my eyes shut, having completely forgotten about him. Why had he chosen to show up now? I lay still for a moment, then he yells again, which makes me jump out of the bed, cringing at the pain in my joints. Groggily, I stumble to the door and lean against it for a moment as I feel lightheaded, trying to gather myself. Finally, I fix my face into a tired smile before opening the door. Leo stands there, his ears perked, eyes wide, as if he hadn't expected me to open the door. Oh yeah, we left with the hanging body in the room. Yeah, no, oh yeah, that's where we left off. The body was hanging and just chilling there. Oh, hey, Chase, are you alright? He reaches out to rest upon my shoulder, looking me over. Yeah, was up all night doing my project. I left it until the last minute. I give him a sheepish grin. Leo clicks his tongue at me. Oh my god, I coughed. Isn't that due tomorrow? Aren't you driving home all day today? I shrug. I'll be fine. If you say so, Arthur. He continues to stare at me with a look of concern. Hold up. I gotta message someone to let them know I'm streaming. Alright, here we go. What's up? Well, I guess I'm sorry that I made him Russian. Oh, putangina. I haven't been around more this week. I guess I was just being a bit unfair to you. I racked my brain for a reason why Leo's apologizing to me, or how exactly he'd been unfair to me. I guess I've just been a bit down because you weren't talking to me as much as I thought you would. Oh, had Leo been avoiding me all week? I hadn't even noticed. Oh, well, it's alright. I was wondering why you hadn't texted me. I've been missing you. No, you haven't, Chase. Leo's ears flatten and I see a look of shame across his face. You could have texted me too, you know. I didn't want to bother you. I could tell you weren't all that happy. Leo lets out a big sigh, letting his shoulders droop. I'm sorry, Chase. I guess I just kind of felt kind of shitty after what Flynn did. Then you just kind of went quiet. I scratched the back of my head. Yeah, I can't deny that he kind of ruined the vibe of the whole trip, but I really should have called you afterwards. I'm sorry too. Yeah. Chase is doing it to Leo now. Oh my god, Chase is Leo. My dad did call me into work every day, so I guess it would have been hard to work things out anyway. That sounds familiar. He's still making you work weekends too? Usually, yeah. Yeah, new PNG. Hi, Max. Hello. We got a couple of things in here. Leo looks past my shoulder into the motel room. Anyway, when I texted Jenna, it sounded like something was wrong. I guess she's already back in Pueblo? I shrug. Yeah, I think the tension got to her and in the end, and she took off early. She was complaining about Flynn the entire time she was here. Leo lets out another big sigh. Great. He's been acting strange too. Oh yeah? I silently hope that the wolf isn't going to ask to be let in. Yeah, driving around acting all shady. That's actually what made me want to visit you, see if everything was okay. Carl isn't even responding to me. I'm good, just tired and stressed out. Is Tej here? He's actually hanging out with an old friend in Payton right now. Once he comes back, we're going to start driving back. Was actually in the middle of a nap. Oh, sorry. You wanting to get back to that then? I smile guiltily. Yeah, that would probably be for the best. Don't want to nod off on the road, you know? Oh, of course. Leo looks at me hesitantly. Listen, I know this is probably going to be our last time getting together before we all split off, but you wanna try this again in the future? Maybe over the summer, when you don't have school to worry about? I just feel like we left a lot unsaid. Doesn't have to be everyone. Maybe this time I'll just tell Flynn not to come around. I smile back at Leo. Yeah, That sounds good. I think that'd be great. A great time. Leo smiles back, genuinely looking genuinely relieved and happy. Ah, that's good to hear. I'll be sure Dad knows that I want the week off. Good luck with that, and I'll let TJ and Jenna know. Thanks, Chase. Leo stands there for a moment, then steps forward to give me a hug. I hug back tightly before letting him go. I stand in the doorway until Leo's van pulls out of the parking lot, heading in the direction of the highway, probably on his way to work. Once he's gone, I deflate, feeling as if one conversation had been equal to hours of hard labor. Still, watching him go, I get a sense of sadness. Like, that was the last time we'd see each other the way we are now. I stumble back into the bed, almost feeling falling before I catch myself on the edge with both paws. I stare at the square patterns on the comforter, feeling a little sick. For a moment, I hear whispers coming from the dark bathroom, but I don't even look up to see if I can see that figure in the mirror. I wish I'd closed the door, but I'm not going near that place again. So I just curl back up in bed, facing away from the bathroom and closing my eyes. I got bored of skipping rocks pretty quickly. Oh, they're kids. Wait, hold up. Go shower, Chase. He's smelly. He's smelly, stinky. Hold up. Close my windows real quick. Oh, drink water. Leo was good at it. He could skip them over the water 5 times before they sunk. Even Jenna could do at least 3. One moment. So I'm sorry, I'm doing a lot of things real quick, just so I can see everything. Mine would splat once and sink like the stones they were. After Leo laughed at my last one, I glared and decided to go further down the beach where no one else could go. Hey, not in the way of the rocks. You're going to get hit. Leo telling me to be careful only made me more angry, and I cut through the water, far below the surface so they couldn't see me. I go back in the direction where we came from, wondering if Sydney and Toby are in the shallows, that I might be able to surprise them. When I come around the curve of the beach, I see that they are in fact in the shallows. But I can tell immediately that something isn't right. Toby's flat on his stomach in the water. Sydney is sitting on his back. Toby had just enough room that his head barely sticks out of the water. As I poke my head up, I can hear the cat sobbing. Sydney isn't saying much at all. He's got a strange look on his face. It's a look that I've seen before, like that time he covered Toby's mouth and nose when he had him pinned down, and we had to pull them apart. That same look when he'd thrown a dirt clod with a rock in it at the lynx's head. A look that was determined, almost empty, but completely fascinated with what he was doing. Almost like he liked it. Something about this situation scared me, though. The other times we'd been there to help separate them, or to stop Sydney from going too far. But now, it looked like he was trying to kill the cat. Every now and then, a wave would slosh over Toby's mouth and nose, and he'd yell and struggle frantically, begging Sydney to get off. But Sydney just sat there, enamored with his own cruelty. It was gonna kill Toby, just like he killed his dad. My vision blurs as I go under and speed towards them. I leapt out of the water to knock Sydney off the links as hard as I can. Sydney falls back in the water before quickly pushing himself back up. I see the look of horror on his face, not at what I'm about to do to him, but because he got caught doing something bad. Not just bad, but weird and scary and something that no one should ever do, not even if you're a kid. I don't think he could ever explain why he liked doing it. That look imprints itself in my mind. TJ runs off. I don't know where to. I try to get Sydney to tell me what he was doing for a while. I don't remember exactly what happens, but I get angry. I throw a punch. It misses and hits him in the throat instead. He lets out a hard cough, reaching up with both paws to clutch at his neck. He managed to stumble to his feet without using his paws, his Lucha Lobo swim trunks wetly clinging to his legs. I don't give him a chance to stand for long. I tackle him again and grab his head, shoving it underwater. He scrambles frantically. I feel a dark satisfaction in my chest as at the way I can hear his screams through the bubbling of his exhaling breath. I finally let him go after a good 10 seconds, and he comes up, gagging and choking. He starts to scramble away on his paws and knees before getting up. I see snot hanging from his nose and chin as he stumbles, snorting out water, and I can tell he's about to cry. You tried to kill me! I'm telling Leo! You tried to murder me! So that was it. For some reason, the way he immediately tried to put that on me. It was then that I believe he was trying to kill TJ. Maybe not even on purpose. Maybe just waiting for it to accidentally happen. I don't know. But now he's going to make everyone think I'm a murderer, even though we all know he did it. He stumbles away and I go after him, grabbing him. He's trying to kill me! His voice is weak, and so is his body, especially in the water. I poke my head up through the waves in front of the others. Otter, move! We're going to hit your head! I shrug my shoulders, dipping under the water again so that I can hug myself and tremble alone. Again, time passes in a way that I'm not familiar with. 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 hours pass when my phone starts to ring. There's something ominous about it. Something I can't explain, but I feel it deep in my bones, like the aches in my joints. I open my eyes and see my phone just a foot in front of my face, vibrating over and over. I see the blank contact image on the screen with the name Julian under it. God. For a moment, I wonder why I have his number, why I have his name attached to it. Then I remember it's because we exchanged numbers during the scavenger hunt, so that I could call him to meet up. Slowly, I reach out and press the green button to answer. I raise it to my ear, waiting, but only getting silence on the other end. Hello? Hey, Chase. Julian's voice sounds hesitant, like he's not really sure about what he's doing, like he doesn't know me. Yeah? Hey, so something happened that I thought you, or at least someone, should know about? King Julian. I slowly sit up, the blanket falling away from my shoulders. What's up? Well, TJ spent the night over at my place after what you did. Julian's voice takes on a hard edge, and for a moment, I'm not sure what he's talking about. Then I remember the forest and what happened there. For some reason, the thought doesn't create that horrible, empty guilt I felt yesterday. In fact, I hear my dogs barking. In fact, I feel nothing. Anyway, we got him on a bus ticket back to CCU, and we were hanging out until the departure time, which was an hour ago now? Yeah? Well, that lizard guy showed up. Flynn? He showed up at my house. I don't know how he knew where I lived, but I think Janice told him. My heart skips a beat. Anyway, he wanted to talk to TJ, and eventually TJ told me that I could just wait inside. So I did. And after a while, when I looked, they were gone. Gone? Yeah, and so was his truck. I'm pretty sure TJ went with him, but I don't know. They were both acting really strange, so I don't really feel good about it. TJ won't respond to my text either. I see. So, since your number's the only one I have from your friend group, I thought I should tell you so you can let the others know too. Julian, what in God's name thought that after what happened yesterday that Chase was the best idea to call? Like, I don't know. All right, I'll do that. All right. There was a pause, but I'm already getting up, looking for my keys. I'll probably check things out myself before my shift today. You know where Flynn lives? I can tell that the buck doesn't really trust me with this information. And why would he? I don't care though. Yeah, he's on Shefford Street. Janice will be able to point out where it is for you, but I'm heading over now. Let me know if you find anything out. I will. Later. Bye. I feel my heart race. My heart rate picking up speed as I finally find my keys under my backpack on the table. I snatch them up and jog out of our motel, the heat of the afternoon sun coming over me in a wave. I realize then how late it is. I've been in the motel for nearly a full day, but to me, it felt like only a few hours, if that. I should be on the highway right now, if not already back in Pueblo. One moment, I gotta answer my door. Ugh, I really need soundproofing on my walls. Okay, back to where we were. But I realize that none of that matters now. As I sit down in the oven-like heat of my car, I see it staring at me
It's wizard
from
time,
the back seat.
Fireball!
Oh my god, it's a fireball alert audio on. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Ugh. That's not supposed to be on. Oh my god. Why you cast fireball in the middle of this? Heads up, if you can stomach this last hour, there is a shot to catch? What? Hold up. What did you say? There are shorts to catch in the main menu. Click the lake. Sure. No, I'll definitely do it. I could. This is the last hour. Oh my god. All right, hold up. Back up. As I sit down in the oven-like heat of my car, I see it staring at me from the back seat. I'm not afraid of it, or at least not right now. It means that I'm on the right track, I think. I'm doing what I was meant to do. I know where Flynn and TJ are. He probably thinks that the best place to get the truth out of TJ. His truck sits there in a small parking lot alone, gleaming in the setting sun. I pull up right next to it and look inside. Empty. I park and shut off the engine, jumping out and jogging towards a faint trail through the sagebrush. I know exactly where to go. Instead of turning right like we did yesterday to get to the boulder, I take a left. I haven't been on this part of the beach in over a decade, not since it happened. I know this is the right direction though, and soon enough, I see the bend on the beach that turns into the shallows that we played in so many times. I also see an odd set of tracks leading in that direction. Flynn's footprints, not hard to recognize with their long clawed toes, but there's another pattern next to them. They aren't footprints, but drag marks. What the fuck? Like Flynn had been dragging something next to him. I pick up the pace and start to run, breath catching in my throat, that feeling of not being able to turn back looming over me like a dark fog. The water and sand around me is starting to tinge a soft red, with the setting sun. For a moment, I wonder what would happen if I stop. What if I turn back instead of turning this corner? I know that my life will turn out very, very differently if I do. That thing in the mirror, the town, it told me so. But I feel like I'm on a set of train tracks cutting through the desert with no alternate path to speak of. And I've been on this track ever since I decided that I need to protect TJ. It's okay. The VOD will still be up on YouTube. Don't worry. I'm sorry you can't enjoy it with us, but like, make sure you don't get in trouble too, all right? We still got a lot of hours to go and more Echo projects to play. As I turn the corner, I see them immediately. TJ sitting on the beach, his knees drawn up to his chest as he stares downward. Flynn is standing over TJ, his paws on his hips, looking down at the cat. It looks like he'd been thrown there by the lizard, and I finally feel rage replace the anticipation and fear. It's finally going to happen, and now I want it to. Hey! Flynn immediately whirls around, eyes wide as he spots me sprinting towards him. He takes a step back as I got closer, but I skid to a stop 10 feet away, glaring at him as my paws clench into fists. What the hell are you doing? I scream at him, wanting to let him know just how pissed I am. Leo, come get your crazy ex. Oh my god. Like, didn't we just see? It's a red flag right there. It feels good. Finally not being afraid or worried about what's going to happen. Because now, I know there's no other option. Flynn looks taken aback for a moment, looking me up and down before he straightens up. He hasn't forgotten what happened between us yesterday, and I can tell that he's afraid of me. Get the fuck out of here, Chase! This isn't about you! You fucking bet it is! I look at TJ, and he's gone back to staring at the ground, expression vacant. What are you doing to him? I'm not doing anything to him except asking him some questions. About? You know exactly what about. He's trying to confirm your secret. Get away from him! I say each word with deliberation, taking a few steps closer to the lizard. Flynn steps back again, but only with one foot, and he doesn't back away further. You stay the fuck away from me, Chase! And what the hell have you been doing this whole week? What the hell have you been doing this whole week? Flynn seems to grow a little more confident with that. What do you mean? I stop and cross my arms, waiting. What I asked yesterday. And after what happened to Carl, I think I owed him a fucking explanation. I also saw that. I saw that full perp animation. That was great. That's what started me playing this again. That's what got me to playing this. Seeing that the red flag animation from full perp on the Echo animation. I feel the anger rise up even more in my chest. You want an explanation after the shit you've been pulling? Flynn once again looks taken aback by my anger. The hell you talking about? My palm moves to my pocket. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That fucked up scavenger hunt that you sent us on. That you started with Carl. Flynn gapes at me. What? I feel some of my resolution dissolve as the lizard's face looks completely bewildered. He's lying. Anger swells once again. Quit fucking lying to me. I know what you did, and I know what you think happened. Flynn steps forward. Chase, get the fuck out of here. This isn't about you. TJ's telling me what happened. I look down at TJ, again at the vacant stare. What did he tell you? Leave. This isn't about you. This isn't about you. Flynn walks up to me, giving me a hard shove in the chest. I stumble back. Really? I feel my paw reaching into my pocket as if it's of its own accord. I grasp the note, and even though my nerves fail me as I'm pulling it out, seems to happen on its own. Then what the hell is this? I unfold a note, ripping the old paper in the process. But it's intact enough when I present it in front of the lizard's face. Flynn's brow furrows in confusion for a moment before he takes it roughly from my paws. He stares at it, eyes scanning the page as if looking at it from all angles. Finally, his eyes flick up to look at me. What the fuck is this? He whispers hoarsely. I look straight back at him, waiting for the expression of familiarity, the guilt, the knowledge that this piece of paper is his own doing. But instead of what the mirror promised, I get shock and confusion instead. Just like that, I feel my determination break down. It was as if something had been driving me to this moment. That cloud covering my brain breaks for a moment. For a moment, things are clear, and I'm left in a daze. What is this? His voice turns up into a scream, and it's such a horrible sound that I stumble back. He holds the paper up, showing me, and I stare as if I'd never seen it before. Unlike the other notes, this one is a crude drawing. On the far left of the page, a small stick figure with lynx ears is kneeling on the beach, surrounded by clams and starfish. He's covering his face, tears falling to the sand below. Extending out from the beach, poorly drawn waves spread across the top of the page to represent the lake. Far below the waves, two figures are connected near the bottom of the page. One has X's for eyes, his legs and arms splayed out, tiny bubbles coming up from his mouth. Below that figure, another sits below him, grinning mischievously, holding the drowning stick figure down by his own tail. As if the picture wasn't descriptive enough, words and arrows label the characters. Toby is sitting on the beach, Sydney dead in the water, and Chase is holding him down. I looked at the drawing so many times before, but now to have Flynn be the one to show it to me? But he had to have been the one to draw this. Who else would have done it? But here he was, standing here in a state of shock, just like me. But I could see his expression very quickly morphing into fury. All my plans to confront him, to figure out how he found out, are thrown out the window, because he just found out. I'm completely unprepared, and conveniently, the presence that spurred me on has left as well. And it's only now that I realize how stupid this all was. It's like I've been tricked. Chase. Lynn's walking towards me. His expression is like nothing I've seen before. Chase. I can see in his eyes what he's about to do. I back away, stumbling, and that's when he rushes, tackling me to the ground and crushing me into the hard, sharp rocks underneath. Unlike yesterday, all of my strength and confidence has abandoned me. It's like whatever has been driving me has left me right at this moment, taking several steps back to watch. Like it wanted this to happen all along. Flynn's fists find my face, first one on the right side, then another on the left. Each one brings a flash of light to my vision, and at that moment, all sense leaves me. It's kind of nice, in a way. Like I don't have to be present for the horror that I brought onto myself. A few more punches come my way. The impacts like earthquakes in my head, but I don't feel any pain. I do remember the drawing. I do remember TJ drawing in his... oh my god, this is... So TJ set this entire thing up. It makes sense. It now makes sense. Now Flynn's scene makes sense. Instead, they leave me feeling stunned, like I've been electrocuted. I can feel blood pouring from my nose like a faucet, though, and soon it fills my mouth with that familiar metallic taste. You fucking piece of shit! You think you could just play with me like this? His strong, big hands find my neck and start to squeeze. Through blurred vision, I can see him above me, eyes filled with tears, glaring down at me with a rage that I didn't think was possible. You little shit! You won't fucking get away with this shit this time! I hear the rustling leaves again, my reflection, Sydney, the town, whatever it is, laughing at me. Vaguely, I wonder if Flynn has been spurred on by it too. We're puppets. Nothing seems real right now. What's happening to me? To Flynn? What's happening between us? It seems impossible, but the breath that's stuck in my throat is very real, and I start to see stars and blackness begin to cloud my vision. Bye, AM. We'll see you next time. After the things I've done, I guess I deserve it. I guess this is the appropriate way to go out. Flynn. A soft voice coming from the distance. It was me. I did it. Hands come away from my throat, and I take in one massive breath, like I'm coming up from the water after being under for far too long. Spit and blood go down my throat and into my lungs, and I roll over, letting out a great cough, spraying the rock in front of my face with dark drops of blood. What? TJ's art did not improve at all. This Christian boy did not take art lessons. What? I watch blood drip to the flat rock in a steady rhythm from my nose, having to breathe extra hard through my mouth because of it. I did it. It was an accident. I pushed him out into the water and he drowned. I grabbed the rock, stumbling to my feet, feeling that old anger return. He's going to kill Toby. Stop him. I stumble unsteadily to my feet and turn to see the lizard with his back to me, approaching TJ. He will never leave Toby alone, just like Sydney. I stumble after them, hand tightening around the rock, the back of Flynn's head in my sights. What did you say? But you can stop it. For good. Break the circle. I'm a few steps away from Flynn when I swing, bring it down on his head as hard as I can. The sound is awful. Immediately, Flynn bends over, screaming in pain as his paws come up to clutch the back of his head. I swing again, this time glancing off the top of his head, most of my power robbed by the poor angle. Flynn turns to me, then, still crouched low, and tries to tackle me. I stay on my feet for the most part, but I'm pushed back several feet as I grab onto his back for support. I feel the cold water on my feet, and that's when I grab the lizard under his armpits and start to pull us both out further. Flynn doesn't seem to realize what's happening until the water is up to our knees. He stands up straight, and I see blood running down his face from his head. He's glaring at me, expression wild, gaze clouded just like mine, and he takes a swing at me. It lands on my jaw. Though my head is snapped to the side and another flash fills my vision, I'm able to grab that paw and swing him out further into the lake. The lizard stumbles in the shallows, standing up waist deep, and that's when I throw myself at him with everything I got. I tackle him into the water, and we're both submerged. I feel the change in Flynn's demeanor. The change as he realizes that he's gone from fighting for the truth to a fight for his life. Claws come out and scratch my arms, but I ignore it, the cold of the water numbing any pain that I might have felt. I kick us further out into the lake, my powerful tail and body coming into play, doing what I was built to do. I know I knocked the breath out of Flynn when I barreled into him, so he doesn't have much time before he needs another breath. I'm not going to give it to him. I thrust us both through the water, downward against the rocks and sand below us. He grasps at me, kicking with his feet, and I catch a glimpse of his face then. It's not angry anymore, or clouded. Instead, he stares at me with shock and utter disbelief. I'm killing him, and he realizes it. He also realizes the truth then. I see it in his eyes. What he wanted to know for the past decade, he realizes it in the last minutes of his life. He kicks at me with his feet, his movements becoming even more desperate. His paws move to my neck, trying to choke me again, but it's useless. I already have my breath. I watch bubbles spurt from his muzzle, then all at once in a gush. His paws go from strangling to pleading. He grabs me by the shoulders, shaking, tugging, looking into my eyes, but I'm relentless. That feeling of not being able to turn back too strong. His muzzle's open, trying to breathe, but only taking in water. His thrashing turns up a notch, scratching my legs with his claws as he kicks even harder. This second burst of desperation only lasts a few seconds, though. his movements growing more and more tired, weaker and weaker. He's not looking at me anymore. Eyes staring past me towards the glimmering surface above. A place I'll never let him see again. His movements become more sporadic, like he's having convulsions. My instincts tell me to let him go, to end this instantly, but my paws don't let me. I close my eyes and press harder. After a few more minutes, I don't feel any more movement. Slowly, I let him go, careful not to look at his face. His body stays still for the most part, moving back and forth gently with the current. I kick to the surface, my limbs numb as I break through to the cold air above. I pull myself along through the rocks, gasping and feeling incredibly weak for some reason. I'm going to save here real quick, just in case. My stomach lurches, and for a moment I feel as if I'm going to throw up. I stay there on my hands and knees, staring into the water at my reflection. Rest in peace, Flynn. You did not deserve this. My face looks blank, and for a moment I see the horrible, gashed mouth. I know I'm crying, even if the lake water is covering it up. What happened? But as I look up, and as I see TJ there, everything comes together. He's on his knees, staring past me, mouth hanging open. Suddenly, I remember exactly why it is this all happened, and my chest fills with warmth and love for the cat as I stumble towards him on my knees. TJ doesn't seem to notice me as I wrap my arms around him, pressing his face to my chest. I've got you. We're okay. He's not going to hurt you anymore. I breathe heavily into the lynx's ear as I whisper to him, wanting to let him know that everything's going to be okay. Finally, I feel him shake his head against my body. Chase. Why? Because he knew. And he was never going to leave us alone. He tried to kill us. I kiss the top of the cat's head gently, wanting him to know how much I care. Is he? He's gone. TJ sobs against me, but I only hug him tighter. Oh, why did you do that? He reaches out to my left and I look, seeing the paper and the lake. I'm not sure why he's talking about. Which is he talking about? Me showing Flynn the paper or killing him? I don't know, so I don't answer. Instead, I hug him even tighter, whispering in his ear, "It'll be just like last time. We won't tell anyone our secret." Something turns ominous in the air. That horrible tension I felt dissipate when the open letters returns. This town needs secrets. We'll tell them he tried to kill us. We had to protect ourselves. Flynn would never have killed them. This is just Echo telling them that. I'm gripping my mic stand so hard because how mad and angry at fucking Chase I am. I hate Chase. I loved Flynn. I loved Flynn more than anyone else because I don't know. Out of everyone, it was Flynn, everyone. But more, I love Flynn and Carl more. TJ leans tiredly against me, his arms lit. Going to be okay, just like last time. We can forget. TJ doesn't respond, so I look out to the lake and get a shock as I see Flynn floating there, close to the shore. He's face down, back just barely touching the surface. For a moment, I wonder if it's not too late, if there's still enough life in him to be revived. But that same feeling holds me back, and I cling to TJ instead. We're going to be okay. We were manipulated. Keep moving in circles. That voice comes to the surface for a moment, for the first time sounding stunned. I return to focusing on the lynx, the whole reason why I did any of this in the first place. Whatever happens, I'm going to protect him from all the shitty people in the world that want to hurt him. By the time we get to our feet, it's dark, and I have to help the lynx along through the sagebrush. He's quiet, robotic like he was the first time this happened. I helped him into my car and I get into the driver's seat, quietly pulling out of the parking lot and leaving Flynn's empty truck behind. I watch it disappear in the rearview mirror, sitting alone under the yellow parking lot light. As we drive along the road, the lynx stares out the window. I can still feel the tension in my arms and legs, making it difficult to keep the wheel steady. My heavy white clothes stick to the seat. Finally, we get to the freeway, and I look back again. Echo. Just a series of tiny lights, insignificant on the desert landscape. It seems absurd that this place was where all that horror happened, where all of that horror still is. Chase? I snap out of my daydream, looking over at the lynx, his eyes glowing gently in the fading light. After we're done with wherever we're going. The police station? Yeah. Can you give me a ride back to CCU? I miss my bus. TJ smiles sheepishly. I blink, wondering what to say. Does he not realize? Then I realize what he's doing, what's happening. Just like last time. I clear my throat. Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll give you a ride for sure. Thanks, Chase. TJ smiles at me, then goes back to looking out the window. I wonder if he'll forget what happened. Like what happened with Sydney. I hope that I can. We drive off into the dark desert towards the soft glow of Peyton in the distance. 5 years later. Seriously, this is gonna be such a good fucking time. You'll be glad you came. The big grizzly bear nudges the coyote playfully, almost knocking the canine into the passenger window. Ow! Keep your paws on the wheel. Or your paw at least. This road ain't in great shape. Cameron's eyes the giant half-eaten burger in the bear's equally giant paw. Dev's other paw casually steers the wheel, elbow resting out through the open window. The bear looks happier than he'd been in a while, somehow grinning as he chews. The coyote sighs and stares out his own window, watching the desert landscape fly by. It was nothing like this in his hometown, and he found himself wishing he was back amongst the pine forests. Something he'd been wishing since he moved from Pueblo for school. Technically, this was his natural habitat, but he found the whole place depressing somehow. Empty and dry and rough. What you pouting for? I'm not pouting. Yeah, you are. Cameron sighs, deciding to change the subject. So, why couldn't Larry go again? I don't know. Said something about his car breaking down. I think he just flaked, though. Aren't there other haunted places in Pueblo that we could have gone to? Like, by the school? The bear shakes his head, letting go the wheel to crumple up the... Oh, wait, did I get the characters mixed up? Is the bear Devon and the coyote Cameron? Like, I think I got their voices mixed up, guys. The bear shakes his head, letting go of the wheel to crumple up a foil that had packaged his sandwich, tossing it into the back. Oh, so Devon is the bear. Oh my god, I'm so confused. Not like Echo, dude. This place is the most haunted town in the entire... Dev's a bear. Okay. This place is the most haunted town in the entire fucking world. Cameron sighs again, then suddenly grasps his seat as the car swerves and turns hard onto a smaller road, heading towards a big blue lake. What the fuck? Whoops. Sorry, almost missed a turn. Gotta hit Lake Emma before the actual town. The road quickly ends in a small parking lot, empty and cracked. Why? Because a lot of shit happened here. The grizzly hops out of the car, making the entire thing tilt sideways as he squeezes his bulk out before reaching back in for the camera bag. The coyote allows himself one last frustrated sigh before he gets out as well. man. I can't wait to play Arches and cry. Grizzly bulk, grizzly bulk. Hi, Feathers. But yeah, I can't wait for this. I can't wait to play Arches, guys. I can't wait to scream, cry, and just be sad in general. The bear waits for him, reaching out a large padded paw. Oh. Cameron takes it and is immediately drawn into the tight embrace and a kiss. The coyote tenses up for a moment, then waits until Devon releases him. Ugh. Can you not do that right after you eat a big greasy hamburger? Cameron makes a show of wiping his lips. Devon rolls his eyes. No pleasing you, is there? Nevertheless, the grizzly holds out his paw again, and Cameron takes it, the two of them walking towards the faint trail. It's not a pleasant walk, the trail almost obscured by sagebrush and dry vegetation. Once they reach the edge of the lake, Devon has to help the coyote down the rough, rocky terrain. The coyote feels like a child as Devon lifts him down off the boulder and onto the beach. The bear's tree trunk biceps bulging as he does. They stand there for a moment, taking in the scenery. Then Devon leans over to set the camera back down. Cameron stands there, looking around at the very unphotogenic lake. So, what exactly happened here that you're so interested in? Devon takes off his backwards baseball cap for a moment to smooth his head fur down. He puts it back on and bends over again to take out the camera. Some people say this lake is haunted too. Some guy got killed here in 2015 according to a few articles I read. Wonderful. That was self-defense though. Was that during the whole hysteria thing or whatever? Devon pans the camera across the length of the lake before stopping on Cameron. The coyote frowns at being filmed. No, that was in 2017. Damn. The fact that it happened 2015 and 2017, that was literally like, what? I don't know. That's just wild. 7 years ago. Jesus. Oh my God. Oop, I did not read that last time. The bear pans the camera the other way now, and Cameron feels himself getting sweaty under his shirt already. Some coyote he was. It's so hot in here. It's so hot here. Once we set up ourselves in the motel, we'll have some shade. It's still open? Nothing's open. Everything's abandoned now. We're going to get arrested for trespassing. We're going to get arrested for trespassing. The bear finally turns off the camera, leaning over to shove it in his bag. Psh! The cops never come down here. It's too out of the way. Anything for the views, right? Hey, my subscribers are going to love this shit. Now, come on. Let's get back into the car. The bear turned and starts scrambling up the rocky boulders, Cameron waiting as he does. That's when the coyote turns around to glance back at the lake one last time and... a lizard lays in the shadows, splayed out, staring at the sky. But he's not staring because his eyes are gone, half of his muzzle missing. Fuck! Cameron jumps back, tripping over the rocks and landing against the sharp edges. The coyote hisses in pain, but fear spurs him on, trying to scramble up the rocks after Devon. The bear has already turned around, though, reaching down to pull Cameron up. Shit! Are you alright? What happened? As Cameron clings to the large bear, he looks back, but nothing's there. I don't know. I saw... Devon looks at the same direction, squinting. Cameron stares a while longer, then turns back and shakes his head against Dev's chest. When Cameron looks up at the bear, he's grinning though. Holy shit, did you see a ghost? The coyote scowls. What? No, I just thought I saw something. It was the reflection in the water or something. The bear gives him a knowing smile. What? You're gonna be a believer by the end of all this. I know it. The grizzly hugs him tightly as Cameron frowns, still looking back at the shallows. It had been so real. But before he can eventually collect himself, Devon is pulling him along back to the car. Wait, what path does Arches follow? Wait, what? Okay, first of all, that was so short. That felt so short. That was a final hour. Wait, hold up. Pause. Wait. Okay, first of all, I know TJ wouldn't have killed him. That was Echo telling Chase that he would have. But like, does Arches follow one of the chosen paths? Is this specifically TJ, like after TJ's? Because I know you see them in the preview after Flynn's. Like, there are still side stories. Yeah, no, I'm going to go there. Like, we're going to do that. I think AM told me to click on the lake. Ooh, all the pictures. I hate this. Like, oh. We did it, guys. We completed Echo. And now it's the side stories. Arches is its own timeline. But it references... Scroll down further. Is it the... What is that? Whoa. Is it this letter? What is it? So click on the letter. Oh, wait, no, not the letter. So it's this. All of this. Those are the side stories. So all of these are the side. So under chases. We'll start with date. January 2010. What makes a good date? Chase told me dinner and the movie. Personally, I felt like having the dinner half of the date at my house would have been really nice. I mean, it is cleaner than any restaurant you might find in Peyton, and my mom's a great cook. Still, I can tell by the way Heather has her head down that she's really unhappy. I feel sort of a sickening feeling in my chest. It sort of set the mood for the night so far. Mom drives us to the movie theater. Who is this? And I start to get restless, noticing how late we are. The movie is supposed to be really good, and it takes place in space, which is my favorite. Mom tells me not to worry, though, since previews usually fill the first 15 minutes. Oops, that's not Leo. That's not Leo? Who is this? Finally, wait, is this all under Chase? Like, this is all Chases? Finally, we park and I hop out and hold the door open for Heather. I notice that she's taking her time getting out, so I wait for her as Mom goes in to get... Wait, this is TJ. Why is your mom coming? Why is your mom coming? Her voice is a whisper. I reach out to shut the door, but she does it herself, a little harder than she needs to. This is TJ's date with Heather? I stand there for a second, not sure what to say. Well, it's really hot out. Staying in the car would be too... Never mind. Heather stalks ahead of me, and I feel that sinking feeling again. It's only now hitting me that bringing Mom was a bad idea. Not that I told her to come. Mom sort of just invited herself. Well, cat dating cat seems logical. But TJ? Chase, I remember they mentioned TJ dating Heather for a bit. That was it. Chase gave me a bunch of tips on how to make the date go well, but he never said anything about parents. Maybe it was so obvious that he didn't think he had to tell me. Though, that just makes me shrink into myself more, and I can feel my face get hot. I push my paws into my pockets and follow after her, trying to keep my ears upright. Okay, Rez. Yes, swole man, get them gains. We'll see you later, Rez. Mom's really nice, and she sits about 5 rows behind us, but Heather still seems pretty angry about it. Is that a Dastra? Oh my god. She keeps moving her sitting position, folding her arms and making pouting faces. Each time she sighs, I feel myself cringe just a little more inside, and now I can't even focus on the movie. After about 30 minutes, she adjusts her sitting position again and knocks some popcorn into my lap, and I lean over to her, whispering, "Ooh, what's wrong?" She shrugs, keeping her eyes on the movie. I lean back in my seat, again trying to keep my ears up, especially with Mom behind us. The drive back home is pretty awkward. Mom goes on and on about the movie and what she thought about it, which was fine, because I can tell Heather isn't in the mood to talk, and I have no idea what to say. As we drive back into Echo, Mom looks back at us. "All right, Heather. Would you like me to drop you off at your house?" "Actually, me and TJ wanted to talk about a few things. Would it be all right if I stayed over for a little while longer?" "Sure thing." I look over at Heather, but she doesn't look back at me. I have no idea what she's talking about, and I think I'd rather not find out. There's nothing I can do, though, so when we pull over in the driveway, I quietly get out and follow Heather into the house. "How was the movie?" "Oh, it's a cute little dining room," he says without looking up from the... Oh my god, I had these chairs when I was a kid. Jesus Christ. "Oh, it was great, Mr. Hess. Really cool." She's using that weird sweet voice she puts on for my parents. Yeah, a lot of fun." I follow after her. Good. He doesn't even try to sound interested as he keeps watching the hockey game. Oh, is this TJ's bedroom? It's very neat. Very neat. Heather's already sitting on my bed when I walk through the doorway. She's got her legs crossed, paws resting back behind her on the bed. I stand there awkwardly, trying to figure out what to do as she just sits there and doesn't say anything. Do you want to listen to some music?" I turn to my dresser, grabbing my small stack of CDs and shuffling through them. I skip over the Christian rock albums, feeling my ears burn a little at the thought of her singing those. I end up picking up the Cherry Loom album my dad gave me a few years ago when he was trying to get me into classic rock. Heather still hasn't said anything, and I feel myself sweating as I put the CD in and turn it down low. Finally, I turn around and see that Heather hasn't moved from her spot in the bed. She's just been watching me the whole time. I twitch an ear and scratch behind my head, laughing to cover my nervousness. What's up?" She gestures with her hand towards the doorway. "Shut the door." Okay." I know my mom would probably get mad, but I do it anyway, trying to close it as softly as possible so my parents don't hear. That's when I hear the bed squeak behind me, and I turn around, and Heather is right in front of me. Oh! I jump back and bump against the door. Heather giggles and moves closer, and I can feel her breath on my face. She reaches out and rests her paws on my waist, then slides them up, pushing up my shirt. Her paws on my bare fur now. "Oh, wow. Okay. I have no idea what to say or what to do. Heather just giggles at me again, pressing her fingers through the fur to my skin. I can feel her paw pads against me. I look down and see that she has my shirt pushed up above my belly button, and she's starting to rub at the white fur that's been exposed. No one's ever touched me like this before. And I know I'm supposed to like it, but I don't. It's almost like I've jumped into ice cold water and now I can't breathe. I open my mouth and I think I'm about to ask her to hold on, but that's when she kisses me. It's awkward, and her bottom lip presses up against my teeth while she pushes me back, banging my head against the door. I can taste the butter from the popcorn still on her lips. She huffs into my mouth excitedly as she pulls me away from the door and pushes me down on the bed. "Oh, wait, Heather!" My voice is quiet as she pushes me all the way down so I'm flat against the bed, my legs dangling off the side. She's really excited, and it kind of scares me. Her eyes wide, and her breathing coming in loud huffs. I grab at her wrists as she pulls my shirt up again, but this time she does it all the way to my neck. She leans down and I gasp as she presses her cold nose up against my stomach. She's so confident about what she's doing. Has she done this before? She nuzzles lower, then presses a paw against my crotch. I sit up fast and push her back. "Heather, let's stop." I quickly push my shirt back down. Heather stares at me, then awkwardly stands back up, folding her arms. "You weren't enjoying it?" I keep pretending to adjust myself, having no clue about what I should say. "No, it was okay.
I'm just not ready, is all.
I know that sounds really cliche, but it's the truth. I finally lose the battle with my ears and they tilt off to the sides of my head as Cherry Loom plays softly in the background.
All right, I should probably get going anyway.
But she doesn't move. She stands there like she's waiting for something. I'm still too stunned to really know what to say.
Do you need a ride home?
That's the best I can manage. She sighs again before turning to the door.
No, it's all right. It's only a few minutes away. See you on Monday. Okay.
I get up awkwardly to walk her to the door, but she's already gone. I sit there on the bed for a while, hearing the rumble of my dad's voice for a bit before I hear the front door open and close. Then I hear some footsteps up the stairs and my mom sticks her head around the doorframe.
Everything all right? Everything okay? Why aren't you walking her home? She told me she wanted to walk alone.
I feel my ears drop lower.
Oh, all right.
Mom's about to leave, but then she pokes her head back around the doorframe.
Well, your father and I are watching TV. Why don't you come down and join us?
That actually sounds nice, and my ears perk up a little.
Sure, I'll be there in a minute.
Okay. She smiles at me before pulling back from the doorframe. I watch the door for another minute, then sigh and lay back again. I cover my face with both paws, rubbing my forehead. I'm so bad at this stuff. Why did I even try? That's when my phone buzzes and I take it out to see the text. Chase. How's the date? Winky face. I stare at it for a second, then on a whim press the call button with my thumb. He picks up after a second ring.
Hey, B.
Wait.
Hey, bitch. Hey, bitch. Your date over already? Hey, Chase. What's up?
I can hear him adjust the phone and his voice drops to lisp. I hear Leo's voice in the background muffled. That DJ? I start to massage the bridge of my nose, closing my eyes against the room light.
Yeah, date's over. It was okay, I guess.
I guess? Are you asking me? How was it? I wait a while, listening to the white noise on the other end. I could hear some music in the background. I wonder if they're in Leo's car.
Chase, how did you know you're gay?
There's some silence on the other end before I hear a burst of laughter. I flatten my ears, feeling my face blush all over again. I don't say anything, though, and just wait for him to get it out of his system.
What did he say?
Leo sounds really close now, like his muzzle's right up against Chase. I hear some adjusting of the phone phone going on before Chase finally responds. Sorry. I just didn't expect that. Are you on your computer?
Yeah.
I get off my bed and walk over to my desk, waking my computer up. Okay, go to the website Thick Fur. Are we teaching TJ how to look up gay porn? What the hell? I type into the URL and press enter. Immediately, a buff fox with no clothes pops up. He's got his paws on his privates and he's sort of pushing them up. There were a bunch of other pictures too, but I don't have time to process them as I jump and close the browser. I dart my eyes behind me, half expecting to see my mom and dad staring around the corner, their eyes wide in horror.
Chase!
So, are you hard?
What? No!
Then you probably aren't gay. TJ, you like looking at boobs, don't you? Chase, that's not how it works. That is literally not how it works, especially with this fucking Christian child.
Well...
Wait a minute. Don't you?
Well, not really, I guess.
This isn't you being all Christian, right?
No, I'm fine with this stuff. I just haven't really given it much thought, I guess.
I guess you could be asexual.
Leo, stop.
I can hear the phone getting bumped around again, and I think I know what's going on. What are you guys talking about? His voice is playfully accusatory, and I can hear some more shuffling with the phone as I assume Chase tries to move it away from the wolf. All right, TJ, I better get going. I'll talk to you more about this on Monday, okay?
Okay.
Later, Teach. Leo's voice is muffled, like he has something in his muzzle. And listen, TJ, he sounds strained. Heather is, well, she's not that. It's just not a big deal, all right? Okay, I'm gonna go. Talk to you later. See ya. I hear Chase start to snap something at Leo before he hangs up. I drop my phone on the bed next to me and close my eyes, tempted to just fall asleep right then and there. I feel better though. Chase had always had a way of making things seem alright. He offered doing a double date with us, but Heather didn't want to, so it didn't happen. It would have made things a whole lot better. I start to wonder what Chase and Leo might have been doing. He was probably nibbling Chase's ear. Leo does that a lot. Damn, can't even wait. Honestly, Leo, in front of us too sometimes. I actually think it's kind of cute. My paw drifts down to my crotch, and for the first time in the past few hours, I feel something hard. TJ? I jump as I hear my mom call from downstairs, jerking my paw back. Coming! I quickly sit up and slide off the bed, going downstairs to watch the rest of the game with my family. What are we supposed to learn that TJ is a... So TJ's, like, the quick sighting of porn did not stir him up. Nor did Heather. I'm assuming the thought of just Leo and Chase stirred him on. It was about to, and then his mom called. Jesus. All right. Run away. Also, how's it on the YouTube end? May 2010. Are we lagging on the YouTube end? Are we still live? The sun had begun to set. If I want to avoid Dad and Jeremy, I'll have to leave soon. Okay, so this is Jenna. I take another look around my room just to make sure I haven't missed anything. With my bookshelf empty and all the clothes packed away, it feels a little bleak and gloomy. If not for the posters still hanging on the walls, you'd think you'd be forgiven for thinking no one had lived here at all. It reminds me of one of those TV shows where they explore abandoned haunted buildings. And while this place isn't particularly haunted, at least, as far as I know, plenty of terrifying things have happened here. Part of the reason I want nothing more than to leave it all behind me. I zip up my duffel bag, not particularly easy with my paws trembling so much, and take my phone out of my purse, reading Chase's message again. He says he'll be waiting at the diner. When I ask if Leo's will be coming along, he replies with a emoticon shaking his head. Figures. I hoist the duffel bag over my shoulder and waddle towards the door, snagging my necklace, the one Jeremy gave me, off the nightstand along the way. I put my ear to the door and listen for any signs of my family before even thinking of opening it. Usually I can tell when they're home by the shouting and screaming of Dad and Jeremy's daily arguments, but I want to be sure. Once I'm sure the coast is absolutely clear, I open the door and start walking. First out of my stuffy room, then out of the hallway, and out of the house. I lock the door and put the key under the doormat, looking over my shoulder at the house where I had spent the past 17 years of my life. It's just a house to me, not a home. Hell, school feels more like a home than this place does. I expected to feel regret setting in about now, but I can only grin like an idiot. Simply walking out that door feels like an achievement. I don't think I've ever felt this kind of rush before. I'm free. I'm not going to become another Janice working a mindless, soul-sucking job while sighing to everyone who'll hear, not listen, because people in Echo never listen, about what could and should have been. I'm going to college, and on the other side of the state, far away from this dusty, dried-up shithole. I'm aware of the consequences of the potential problems that could await me, yet the pros far outweigh the cons. I run my fingers over the gemstone in the necklace and feeling a pang of guilt in my stomach. Jeremy will have to deal with Mom and Dad all on his own now. And while he certainly hasn't made my life any easier, he doesn't deserve that. Nobody does. If it hadn't been for Clint, he might have turned out all right. But I've made up my mind. And so I've head towards the diner, struggling to keep myself upright. Duffel bag in one paw, my purse in the other, And while people walking around with shifty looking bags at night is an uncommon sight in Echo, I stick to the shadows regardless. I try to resist the urge to look over my shoulder every 3 steps. Jeremy could be hiding in every shadow, or so my mind tells me. I feel like a child again. I really shouldn't have packed this much. These bags are way too heavy. After nearly tripping over several rocks, I can finally breathe a sigh of relief when the familiar lights of the diner come into view. On the other side of the road stands the motel, a lone car parked in its parking lot. Even as a dot in the distance, I recognize it instantly. It's Chase's parents' car. I walk over as fast as I can on these heels. Chase is leaning against his car, his face illuminated by the light of his phone. Once he notices me walking towards him, he slides it into his pocket. With paws still in his pockets, he walks to the edge of the parking lot. The motel's parking lot is quiet and dark, but not unpleasant. It's cooled down considerably, not quite to the point where I'd be worried about catching a cold, but cool enough to not get heat stroke after taking 10 steps. Let me handle this. He hunches over with a grunt as he lifts my duffel bag from my paw. Shit, Jazz, did you fill this thing with bricks? I giggle at the sight of him, folding my arms. Just the necessities, really. Clothes, a toothbrush, something to read. He grins. All your manga too? Most of it. Just the issues I haven't gotten around to reading yet. Maybe I should have filled it with bricks. Would have been made for a nice prank. Once we get seated, my duffel bag is in the trunk and my purse between my legs on the floor. I look out the window to the road I took to get here. I catch Chase's eye. Ready to go? He puts a paw on my shoulder. It's warm, and his paw pads are a little damp with sweat, but it's the most comforting thing I've felt all day. I melt into the touch just a little. I nod. As ready as I'll ever be. I lean forward to turn on the radio. One of Chase's and Leo's songs, or as Flynn likes to call them, emo garbage with shitty lyrics, starts playing. Probably explains why the car reeks of Leo's cologne. While I don't particularly like the music, it's still miles better than country music that usually plagues the local radio stations. So I leave it on. Chase wraps his fingers around the steering wheel in time with the beat. When he notices I'm looking, he quickly averts his gaze, messing with the rearview mirror instead. I chuckle. He's cute. A different brand of cute than TJ, but cute. Where's Wolfboy anyway? Out with the pack? His parents needed him at the shop. He said it was urgent. I thought his parents' place closed at 6. He shrugs. They call him at the weirdest times. I've gotten used to it. Still, he glances at the anchor bracelet, eventually straightening it out so the tiny anchor rests on top of his wrist. It's a habit of his I've noticed since they went out to buy those things. You guys okay? He sighs. We've been better. I feel like we got different ideas about our future. This is when he leaves Echo without... Okay. Where we're going to go, we're gonna take this thing we have once we're done with school. I had a hunch. Well, less of a hunch and more noticing they weren't eating each other's faces last time I saw them. Do you want to talk about it? It's no big deal. We'll work it out eventually. Sure sounds like a big deal to me. Have you mentioned it to him? He tilts his head back. It's not just something you can bring up out of the blue, Jazz. If it's bothering you, you should do something about it. It'll just get worse if you don't. I'll ask him about it when I see him. He says it with a tone of finality. The anchor drops from the top of his wrist again. We're on the road now, moving further and further away from the diner and the motel until they're just blots in the distance. If there's one good thing about Echo, I suppose it's the spectacular sunsets. It reminds me of all the evenings I spent at TJ's house, sitting in the backyard with his family just to watch the sun slowly sink. Sometimes his mother would pull out a photo album and tell me all about where they came from, what nature there was like. Chase looks at me from the corner of his eye. We can stop if you like. If you want to say goodbye. I'm fine. My response is a little snippier than I would have liked. I make an effort to soften my voice.
You can keep driving, Chase.
All right. I'll have to stop for gas when we get to Payton, though. I promised my mom I'd fill up the tank.
I don't mind.
I reach into my purse and grab my wallet, but he raises his paw. I'll pay. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure? I mean, you're going all the way out there for me.
He smiles. Seriously, don't sweat it. It's hard to do, given the gravity of the situation, but it's a smile I gladly return.
Thanks, Chase.
It's what friends are for, right? I take my phone out of my purse. Dad's calling. He probably got home and noticed I wasn't there. The fur on my back and my neck prickles as I look at the screen. I'm tempted to pick it up. The song playing on the radio has stopped registering. All I can hear is buzzing. Finally, I shake my head and hit the ignore call button, thrusting my phone back into my purse, taking out a manga to read. I wear drink water because my throat dry. I'm not listening to anything he says anymore. What was that about?
Dad called.
You haven't even been gone that long. He starts wrapping his fingers on the steering wheel and eyes me nervously. He reminds me of TJ a little, the way his fur bristles when something catches the lynx off guard. Oh.
You think he knows?
I flip through my manga, taking out my bookmark.
I don't know. And I don't really care.
I start reading. In a town as dull as Echo, manga and anime have always filled the void pretty nicely. They've been an escape for me, a gateway to cultures and countries beyond this nothing town, places where I don't have to deal with my family. Strangely enough, I never got into Western comics much. Carl got me into one of those collector edition comics for my birthday once, but I sort of gave up on it when I hadn't finished it after a year. Mental note to get back on that one soon. Oh my goodness. The gas station between Echo and Payton is a perfect representation of the miserable state Echo is in. It's old and decrepit, to say the least, and what little staff it has consists mostly of junkies saving up for their next fix. Usually, they get it from the dealers that show up at night around here. If the gas wasn't the cheapest around, I doubt it'd see any customers at all. Most people already try to avoid it whenever they can. This place gives me the creeps. Looks like it came from straight out of a horror movie.
It does.
I smirk at him.
Do you think there's any spiders around?
He turns to me. An interesting mix of fear and frustration etched on his face as his muzzle opens, only to close again, like a fish trying to get some air. Don't even joke about that. There's probably some really big ones. I walk my fingers up his arm to the back of his neck and then pinch him. Boo! Jasmine! He swats my paw away with a yelp. Stop it! I laugh. I swear, TJ keeps it together better than you sometimes. He snorts. Only because you go easy on him. He's not wrong. The one time I played a Chase caliber prank on TJ, he spent hours crying in his room afterwards. It was the only time I'd ever seen his mother legitimately angry, a stark contrast to her usual sunny disposition. Not much scares me, but that was a frightening experience.
Hey, he's been through a lot already. I don't want to scar him for life.
He raises the brow. But I'm fair game?
Well, I get the best reactions out of you.
He sighs. Foxes. I always feel a little guilty about playing into the Chase's arachnophobia, or Chase's little spider problem, as my mom always calls it. But he's just so damn fun to tease. My greatest moment has to be when we emptied an entire bag of those tiny rubber spiders in his backpack while he was changing for gym class. I can still remember that look on his face when he opened it to get his lunch. priceless.
Aw, did I offend you, chula?
I gave him a playful pat on the back. He pulls back almost instantly, as if he's afraid I'll do something.
Want me to call Leo so he can kiss you all better?
The exasperated look on his face is pure gold. If it wasn't so dark, I'd be filming right now. Don't! Jasmine! He starts fiddling with his bracelet again. I think there's only hillbilly serial killers around these parts anyways. Nothing to worry about. After getting another look from him, I lay off, completely satisfied. Chase gets out of the car to pump gas. I look out the window again to the convenience store. There are a few truckers here, but not much else. This place could use a clean. Shame that most likely won't ever happen, and probably hasn't since, what, the 50s? The most recent addition to the building is a poster for a Trinity Weasel movie starring Julia Blasco, which came out about 2 years ago. I think TJ was the only one who really liked that movie, come to think of it. My stomach rumbles when I notice the sandwiches set out on the counter. I eye the clock. It's about 8, and I haven't had dinner. While I could have grabbed something from the diner, I didn't want to risk Janice seeing me and calling my parents. The sandwich they sell at the gas station may not be as fresh or as tasty, but they'll have to do. I make a grab for my wallet again, catching my phone mid-buzz. Grumbling to myself, I take it out of my purse. 15 missed calls from the last one I saw. 14 from Dad, 1 from Jeremy. I don't know whether to laugh or cry, to be honest. I can only shake my head in disbelief. I'm gonna save again, just to be safe. Save it. We finish. Hold up. I need to check real quick. Are we still good on YouTube? I just want to make sure I didn't crash again. Yeah, we're still good. All right. And on Twitch, we are still good as well. All right. Not even half an hour into my little escapee attempt, and they're already trying to drag me back to the madhouse. As long as they didn't follow me here, I have nothing to worry about. But I can't shake the thought that the possibility of them just showing up or calling the police, or 1,000 other things they'd never actually do. I don't feel like leaving the car anymore. I don't feel all that hungry anymore either. Something light will do. I tap the window to get Chase's attention, then roll it down. Mind grabbing something from the store for me, Chase? Of course not. What do you need? I look up for my manga when he comes back, carrying a small plastic bag with the gas station's logo on it. One for you, he says in a singy-song voice, dangling a strawberry-flavored popsicle in front of me, which I greedily snatch from his paw. And one for me. These popsicles come from Carl's mom's company. I've seen and eaten them more times than I can count. Back when we were kids, Carl used to boast that we were paying for his pocket money whenever he caught us eating one. Considering Carl's mom would always give us entire bunches of them for free whenever we visited, though, we never actually had to buy all that many ourselves. You remembered I like strawberries. That's sweet of you, Chase. I take a whiff of this familiar, sugary, way too chemically scent. Well, it was the only flavors left in stock. I mean, yeah, I did. Yeah, sure. Better check the expiration date. It might be older than we are. The rest of this place certainly is. I take a little bite. I think it's safe. I'm not dead yet, at least. He laughs, unwrapping his own before producing 2 cans of soda from the plastic bag and handing one to me. That's a relief. Eating popsicles and drinking soda in the parking lot of a rundown gas station. It sounds rather silly in my mind, but this is really happening. I take another bite. So, have you figured out what you're going to do once you're done with high school? He fiddles with his bracelet again. I don't know. Leo's dad said he might have a job for me, but I don't think I'd make a good mechanic. I've got 2 left paws. I think I'd just destroy any car that came into the shop. Why don't you apply for college? You mean the one in Pueblo? He gives me a quick sidelong glance. That's really far away, isn't it? I don't know, Jazz. I can't just leave Leo behind. You got your phone. Long distance relationships are a thing, you know. I crumple up the popsicle wrapper, putting it down in the ashtray. They're actually all the rage these days. I've got
this friend who has a boyfriend who lives on the other side of the planet. Otters are destructive. Am I right? Jesus. I turn and look at him. You know, I think you'd be a good fit for college, actually. Smart, motivated. Really? I mean, I'm not at all good at anything, really. I don't know what I'd go for. Maybe journalism or something? I mean, you were in charge of the school paper last year. You like filming and taking pictures, right? And having a degree is always good. What are you going to major in? He finished his popsicle, tossing the stick in the plastic bag. Hopefully their destruction doesn't kill their friendship. Or friends. I'm going for psychology. Oh, like the inner workings of the mind and stuff? He pantomimes while talking, yelping when he hits his elbow on the steering wheel. I giggle. I suppose, minus the bruised elbow. I want to find out what makes people do things the way they do. So, what made you do the things you're doing right now? Its expression takes a turn for the serious. Why'd you decide to run away? For a moment, I'm speechless. All the heat drying from my body as we look right at each other. I thought he was okay with me leaving when I told him, but now his tone is almost accusatory. It reminds me of Leo. He shuddered, remembering the stink eye he'd given me when I told him I was leaving. A lot of things. I brushed the fur out of my eye. And I'm sorry, Chase, but most of them are none of your business. I'm the one driving you to a new place. I think I deserve to know what's going on. No, you don't, Chase. No, you don't. He frowns. What did they do to you? Did they hurt you or something? None of your business. I grip my teeth. Can we just keep driving, Chase, please? Jasmine, please. I want to know. If you need someone to talk to, someone who can help me, Leo, my parents, we'll do whatever it takes. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You can keep living in... Is that what this is all about? I gesture to the soda cans, the empty popsicle wrappers in the gas station. Are you just stalling so you can convince me to stay? Jasmine puts a paw on my shoulder. I know how you feel. But running away isn't... You don't know how I feel. I smack his paw away. You don't know the slightest thing about my situation, Chase. You don't know what it's like to live in poverty, what it can do to people. And you don't know how it feels when no matter how hard you try to crawl out of that hole, your family will keep piling on even more dirt. I take a deep breath, realizing I'm clenching my fists. I want to live for myself, Chase. I want to go to a college. I want to have a future. I can't do that in Echo. It's not the place for me. It never was. It's not the place for any of us. He shrugs. But it's home, you know? It's home for you. It's hell for me. I put my seatbelt back on. Adam's dead. Jeremy's huffing whatever the fuck he can get on his paws on. And my parents... I cut myself off. I feel nauseous just talking about them. My parents just keep blaming other people for their own ineptitude. Carl, his great grand whatever. You, Leo, everyone's fair game. I'm sick of it. Chase gently puts his paw on mine. This time I don't push him away. I feel drained, exhausted. I'd cry on his shoulder, but I don't even have the energy to do that. What'd they say about Carl? I mean, Leo and I aren't exactly Echo's darlings, but he's harmless. Apparently his family is the reason why we're so poor. Never mind the fact that my dad can't hold a job. Hell, he can't hold anything save for a beer bottle. Shit. I didn't even know your families had a history together. We go way back. It's complicated. The story I'd always been told was that one of Carl's ancestors had his business partner, one of my ancestors, lynched for sodomy to cover up his own crimes. My parents always conveniently left out the part where they were gay lovers, of course, but a trip to the library cleared that one up for me. Not that they cared. My breath slows. I've stopped clenching my teeth. I'm not trembling anymore. At least, which makes drinking my soda a lot easier. Finally, Chase smiles at me. Sorry about all that. I just wanted to look out for you, you know? Everyone's been really worried. I know. I'm sorry, too. I shouldn't have lashed out on like that. Did you tell your parents that you're helping me? I told them that I'd be taking Carl and TJ out to see the new Lions Brigade. He puts the keys back in the ignition. My mom's been asking about you, though. That warms my heart a little. Chase's mother is one of the nicest people I know. What'd she say? Just wanted to know how you're doing, if you're eating okay, that kind of stuff. She wants you to come over for dinner sometime. He laughs. Maybe she's still hoping I'll go straight someday, huh? He backs us out of the parking lot. When I look behind me, I see a group of employees crowding around a rather shady-looking wolf. I guess we're leaving just in time. Do your parents not like that you're with Leo? My dad adores him. I think my mom still wants grandkids eventually, but she's pretty supportive. She just wanted me to be safe. I chuckle. Grandkids? I can't really picture you as a dad. Gee, thanks. He rolls his eyes dramatically. You're as sharp as a box cutter sometimes. You know that, right? I give his sound a playful poke with my finger. Just saying what's on my mind, Otter Boy. Don't take it too personally. There's a moment of silence before he speaks up again. Hey, not to change the subject, but like, won't your family be able to find you over there? They won't. I thought of something. What is it? I'm going to get my name changed when I can, once I'm 18. It won't make it impossible to find me, but hopefully it'll keep them off my tail until I can move to Pueblo. As long as I can remember, even before I started thinking about running away, I wanted to change my name. Jasmine's a name, yeah, but it's never felt like a name that was really my own. It's the one my parents picked for me. I've always felt like it was one of those names you usually associate with trash living in small rural village, a citizen of Echo. It's not a name you'd expect or want to see on the front page of a magazine or a research paper. Really? Huh. Yeah, I want something a little more... I bite my lip. A little more me, I guess. What kind of name are you thinking of? In the past, I've considered the names of actresses and singers, from CEOs to scientists. Now, though, I just blur out the first thing that comes to mind. How about Jenna? It seems like a good name enough. Jenna? He chuckles. Thought you'd go for something more ostentatious. Well, I don't want to draw too much attention to myself. And to be fair, anything's better than Jasmine. Definitely. It's just, well, it's going to take some getting used to. He stares off into the distance, at the empty stretch of barren land next to the road. Jenna. Doesn't sound half bad, right? Hey, it's your name. What's that supposed to mean? Shoot me a message once you've unpacked, okay? Chase lifts the duffel bag out of the trunk with a grunt. I wobble on my feet once I grab it, rescued by Chase giving me a hug. I struggle to reciprocate it until I drop the bags. It's a little uncomfortable with both our shirts stuck to our fur and it's still being warm out, but it's not unwelcomed. I nod. Drive safe. Really? He chuckles, pulling back. Seriously? Do you see a dent in this car? Sure. That's what you said about your bike, too. Right before you fell flat on your... That was 5 years ago. 5 years! He laughed together. It's gonna be different without you around. I'll still be around, you dip. Just in a different town. I chuckle. Maybe we can go do something together sometime. We could go bowling. Sounds like fun. I'd like that, but only if you promise not to cheat again. Hey, I beat you fair and square last time. Of course you did, Jen. Fine. I fold my arms. I'll go easy on you. He steps back towards the car. After a short pause, he turns around to wave. I walk up to him once again. Wait. I take Pueblo's university brochure out of my purse. For you. He looks at it a second, dumbfounded. Summoning some of my courage and a little stupidity, I lean in and give him a peck on the cheek for good measure. If Leo were here, he'd toss me through a wall. Thanks, Chase, for everything. You've been a big help. He just stands there, jaw agape, glancing down at the brochure before looking up at me again. I guess I'll see you around? Bye, Otter Boy. I grab the bags again, unable to keep myself from giggling softly as he stumbles to the car door, a confused look of bewilderment still etched on his face. He clutches the brochure tightly, and I catch a glimpse of him reading through it before he drives away. When he honks the horn, I do my best wave in spite of the bags, smiling to myself, all alone in Peyton in the middle of the night. Chase might be the only game Leo ever beat me at, but the odds can still change, and that's why we have the buy option. With the bags in my paw, I waddle to an old beat-up door and wait for the door to my future to open. And that's the mentioning of college and Chase thinking of leaving. Ugh. Do I have enough energy to go? How many more do we have? We have lights, phone, party, metaphor, and the last one, trip. Oh, didn't even pick his own major. Yeah, no, he didn't pick his own thing. He just followed what Jenna said. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what time is it? We've been streaming for 10 hours, 26 minutes. The computer hasn't gone to shits. Give me like 5 minutes. I'm gonna grab a snack real quick. I think I still have some like salted peas, dried peas somewhere. I'll be right back. We're gonna leave it on this because it's just gonna be like a quick in and out. I'll be right back, guys. Ugh. Myself a little snack. Just eat a little bit of it. So the plan is we're gonna fit like 1 more hour. It probably won't take an hour, but we will end stream like in an hour from now, so we can rest the computer for the weekend and such. Hopefully by next week so last week of April we will be going to Canada, and we will also be getting fans as well as among other things. So hopefully before May we should have our computer updated
and maybe more storage. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, for now, most of the echo things are almost done, and I hate Chase so much. God. And what else? I am going to be playing Arches. I do want to play Arches so badly now after seeing that final ending. All right. Okay, so we did date and runaway. Now we're going to do lights. November 2010. Oh. Whoa, what is going on here? I looked down at the cup in my hand, trying not to make eye contact with anyone around me. Part of me wished I stayed home tonight, but Sarah asked me to come, and I feel bad turning her down. She looked excited when she mentioned how much effort she and the rest of the Bible group put into this party. Oh, we're back to TJ. She said that after a recent string of storms, the school wanted people to know that there was a severe weather shelter in the basement of the church. At first, I thought it was going to be like a bland-looking concrete basement, but as it turns out, Hayden's old school gym is beneath the church. It's a small basketball court with bleachers that fold back against the walls and old basketball rims that are pulled up towards the ceiling so that they're out of the way. Sarah and her friends strung up some streamers and lights along with all sorts of party decorations, turning this drab old gymnasium into a pretty cool party room. The disco ball hangs from the ceiling, reflecting lights all over the room, while the DJ stands off to the side taking requests for which song to play. So far, it's mostly 80s and 90s pop. A group of adults standing around the DJ, probably to make sure nothing too risque is played. Almost all of us are standing around talking or avoiding eye contact, save for a few adventurous souls dancing awkwardly next to one another. I finished off the last of my drink and decided to head back over to the punch bowl to keep my head down, avoiding eye contact as I walked through the crowd. I reached the refreshments table and ladle more juice into my cup and sighed to myself. I really shouldn't have come here tonight. My parents are out of town for the weekend and I had to ask Chase and Leah for a ride. I figured since they're already heading to Payton tonight, it would be alright, but something about their mood made me think that I had ruined their night. I told them that I'd try to find a ride home with someone else and that I called them if there was any changes, but they said not to bother. Chase said that they'd stick around, that it's not like they had anything better to do. The way he said it made me realize I'd made a mistake bringing them into this. I can't take my mind off it now. I tried to make Sarah's night a little better, but ended up ruining Chase and Leo's. Now I'm avoiding Sarah, and I can't help but feel I'm ruining everyone's night. I have to stop myself from thinking about it too much. I bring my cup to my lips and drink so that I'm doing something, if only for a few seconds. I end up downing all of it, and I close my eyes. I focus on slowing my breathing to stave off the panic attack I feel coming on, and it takes me a few minutes, but finally I can relax my heart rate slowly and my body relax. Nah, fuck them. If they were coming down here anyway. Honestly, yeah, fuck them. Only to be startled by a hand touching my shoulder. Hey. Hey! 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 My voice is squeaky. She smiles a little at that. I was hoping to find you here. I was looking for you earlier, but I got caught up with Jessica and Amber. Her eyes dart around and she blushes. So, would you like to dance? I can't help the shocked expression that I'm sure is on my face. My eyes dart to the ground. I start mumbling out an excuse before Sarah reaches my hand and pulls me to the dance floor. The cup I'm holding slips from my hand and I lose track of myself. Everything seems to fade away as I follow Sarah onto the dance floor. She turns to me and pulls me closer and places my hands on her hips. I hope the music is loud enough to mask the gulp I make when my hand touches her dress.
Sarah's wearing an off-white sundress with a red ribbon around her waist, and I can't help but stare at how cute she looks. I feel overdressed in my outfit. My mom had laid out my clothes for me before she and Dad left, and a light blue dress shirt and a tie paired with slacks. Sarah smiles, snaps me out of my reminiscing as she waits for me to take the lead. I force myself out of my trance and take a tentative step right onto Sarah's foot. She squeaks and pulls her foot away. Sorry. Sarah just giggles at me while my face burns. There are a few more missteps before we get a rhythm down. I can't help but feel kind of good about myself. At least I still have a chance at making Sarah's night, not completely ruining it. Her smile seems to have a way of relaxing my nerves, and soon enough I'm smiling back at her. The next song has a faster tempo and we let go of each other. Sarah shakes her hips and moves her body to match the beat. I fumble, not knowing what to do with my hands, so I start to copy Sarah, and I hope she doesn't notice. We dance together, laughing and occasionally singing lyrics to the songs we both know. Every now and then we bump into each other, which forces a few laughs out of us. Although, I'm suspicious that she's doing it on purpose. Before long, the tempo of the music starts to slow, and we find ourselves slow dancing once again. Sarah pulls herself closer to me this time until our bodies press together. She looks me in the eye and smiles warmly before putting her head on my shoulder. My body tenses and I can feel her breath warm against me. I can feel her body press into me as she hugs me tighter. It feels nice. In that moment, I realize just how much Sarah enjoys my friendship. I feel like she trusts me. It's been so long since I felt this comfortable around anyone. Not even Jenna or the others make me feel like this. Then why do you hang out with them if they don't make you feel comfortable? I haven't felt safe around anyone in such a long time, even my own friends. But with Sarah, it's as if I can let my guard down. I feel like I could do no wrong to her. I gently pull her into me, returning her embrace and smile. Unfortunately, my body reacts to this in the worst No, TJ! My smile fades as my pants gets tighter. We start to step out of sync and I can feel her torso grind against mine. I can feel her press her hips into mine. I tense and try to pull my hips away, but that only succeeds in making matters worse as the angle changes and I can feel myself bumping into her. Sarah's hands travel down my back, coming to a rest just above my tail. My entire body is tense and I can feel myself starting to panic before the song fades out with another fast tempo. Sarah pulls her head from my shoulder. I love this song! She pulls away and I feel a wave of relief wash over me, hoping she didn't notice or isn't angry about what happened. She starts to bounce and hop to the beat and I follow her lead, but she turns around and pushes her back into me. She gives a wink over the shoulder as she dances. Her body grinds against mine. She sways her body while I try to focus on dancing, but I can't keep up. I try to move along with her, but I keep moving the wrong way, and I can feel my crotch grind against her body. Panicking, I take a step back and she follows me. The song seems to go on forever. The music finally changes, and I can't focus on anything other than what's going on in my pants. Oh my goodness. Ah! Thank you for the 100 biddies. My goodness. My god, adding 30 minutes to the timer. Hi, Gleam. You gotta tease him a little. Act like you don't want it before you give in. I think TJ is just panicking right now. Oh my god, I feel bad for TJ, but like, damn. Sarah looks at me, and before I can react, kisses me on the cheek. Thanks for dancing with me, TJ. Even in the dim lighting, I can see her blushing face. I'm going to take a break, but I want to dance with you again before the party ends, okay? Okay. I watch as she walks away, not realizing my eyes are on her hips until she disappears into the crowd. A tightness in my pants snapped me back into reality, and I fumble to put my hands in my pockets, hoping to hide what's going on there. I look around for signs for a bathroom, and I make my way out of the party room. Ooh. The exit is a long tunnel that leads to the church. The air in here is damp and cold, and as I step into the hallway, I feel a wave of cold air hit me. I realize how warm I am. I'm practically panting. I groan as I realize I probably look like an idiot dancing with Sarah. My feet make almost no sound thanks to the natural padding. Actually, I tend to sneak up on people a lot. It's kind of funny when I manage to startle Jenna, although She's made a point of evening the score. Evening the score. The restroom is a one person at a time kind, and I lock the door behind me. As I'm going, I remember that Chase and Leo are somewhere around here. Maybe I should go and chat with them. I finish up and make my way down the long empty hallway. I try looking for Leo and Chase, but it's hard to see much in here. I stand on my tippy toes hoping to see Leo's ears since he's so tall. Nothing. I circle the room twice before I give up. Maybe they went outside. I make my way back to the exit and walk down the silent hallway again. This time I turn to the opposite direction at the end and make my way upstairs into the church. Are they fucking in the church? I swear to God. The chapel ceiling makes the hall seem twice as large as it is. Candles sit, lighting the racks along the walls. A few are lit, but most are not. An altar made of marble and covered in a white cloth with a gold trim stands in front of a big wooden cross. A wooden podium stands off to the left for the priest to give his sermon. Wooden pews fill the empty space in the halls, while a balcony for the choir overlooks the entire chapel. Oh my God, I swear to God, if we find them fucking in here, oh my God. The church organ is on the balcony, probably so kids don't mess with it. I walk through the front door thinking that maybe they went out for some fresh air. No one there. I make my way to the parking lot to see if Leo's truck is still there. My heart sinks a little lower as I walk towards the lot. The thought of them abandoning me at my weird Christian party at the front of my mind. Luckily, I spot Leo's truck sitting near the back of the lot, so at least they're still there. But that's not where that's not where we parked when we got here. That's weird. Maybe they went to get something. I head over to the truck, passing under the street lamp. The lights are dim, and the lot is mostly dark, and they're fucking in there, including the space Leo's truck is occupying. I assume that they just got back from wherever they went and are in there, so I make my way towards the truck. I can start to make out that someone is in the driver's seat, but the passenger seat is empty. No, it's not. I can't quite make out who it is, but it has to be Leo, right? I can see his silhouette outlined by the back window, but something seems off. Like, it doesn't really look like him. I slow my pace and try to make out what I'm seeing. I stop about 30 feet from the truck and squint my eyes. Suddenly, the silhouette starts to move, but not just that. It starts to morph and change and split into two. The second shadow moves to the passenger seat. I start backpedaling as the driver's side door opens and I'm about to turn and run when the headlight comes on and Leo leans out. Hey, DJ, is that you? I stop and relax, internally chastising myself for being skittish. Yeah, I was looking for you and Chase. Where'd you go? I walked more confidently towards Leo, and as I reach the car, Leo closes the door and rolls down the window. Leo looks to his right. Chase is sitting in the passenger seat. He looks a little embarrassed and also a little annoyed. He has his jacket over his lap, and his bare legs are sticking out from beneath it. Oh my God. Nasty. At a church? Sacrilegious. My God. Leo clears his throat. No, we just went for a... Chase seemed to snicker at that. Oh, okay. I'm still not sure what they were talking about, but I have a suspicion. I look at Chase. So, are you going to go to the party? Leo looks at Chase, who sighs heavily, like he's just putting down a giant weight. I don't know about that, TJ. It's kind of awkward. Not really into the whole Kool-Aid thing. The last part comes out all mumbly and quiet. I flatten my ears to my head and ball my fist. Quit acting like this is some cult, Chase! My eyes go wide when I realize I said that out loud. Chase rolls his eyes and make a t sound with his mouth. I know, TJ. I was just joking. I clench my fists harder. No, you're not! You always mumble stuff like that when all I'm trying to do is include you guys! Chase glares at me before responding. Well, maybe it's because I'm not comfortable being in a place that thinks people like me and Leo are disgusting. Who in there thinks you're disgusting? You know, most of them. You've hung out with me and Sarah before. So, who in there thinks you're disgusting? Chase rolls his eyes again, and Leo seizes the opportunity to step in and raise his hands. Look, Chase, we're here on TJ's behalf. The least we can do is stop in and say hi. Chase mumbles something again, but I ignore it. We'll head inside in a bit, Teach. and we'll stick around for a while. And then we'll all head home, okay? Leo's tone puts me at ease again, but I'm still uptight after what Chase said. Chase is such a fucking asshole. Like, I get, like, I'm not religious, but, like, I don't do this to people's faces. I don't mumble and, like, this is an extreme rudeness from Chase, even as a gay man. Like, I never did that. Like, Jesus, like, geez. The more I learn about Chase, the more I hate him. Listen, I'm gonna go for a quick walk to get some fresh air. Leo shoots a quick glare at Chase before turning to me. All right, we'll be inside when you get back, okay? I nod, and because I don't want to have to say anything more, I turn and fast walk towards the road, passing under the dim lights of the parking lot as I do. I notice my lungs fill with cold air and the pressure seems to lift off from my body. I wonder if that's what it's like to go through a panic attack. It sure feels like one. I just want to give TJ a big hug. Like, he doesn't... Honestly, they all don't deserve this. I struggle to undo my cufflinks, noticing how shaky my hands are, but I manage to undo the pins and let my wrists breathe. I loosen my tie and unbutton the top few buttons of my shirt, feeling like I can actually breathe again. I look around at the long stretch of road that runs past the church. There are some houses nearby, but the road is pretty empty except for the street lamps. One side of the road is a rocky gravel-covered hill, while the other side is flat open ground with the occasional house nearby. I stand on the side of the road under the street lamp for a few more minutes. And I don't really know why, but I take a step towards the darkness of Echo. As I walk down the road, I can feel the gravel shift under my toe pads, and it tickles my feet. I force myself to smile, and I try to think about other happy little things in life, but all I can think about is Chase and Leo. Sort of disconnect from what I'm seeing, drawing into myself as I wonder why I thought it had been a good idea to fight Chase. He's always been kind of mean, but today it's even worse for some reason. He's always been okay with me and my beliefs, but I guess actually bringing him here had been too much. I stop and snap back into reality. It's completely dark, and I look up. It seems I've walked past the street lights on this road. I turn around and look back towards the church. I didn't realize I had walked this far. I can barely make it out from here. How long have I been walking? I sigh and start to head back, putting my hands in my pockets as I pick up the pace. I'm unnerved with how loud my footsteps are now. Each step is like nails on a chalkboard, causing the fur on the back of my neck to stand up. As I make it back under the closest street lamp, I check my phone to see what time it is. 9:30. I wish I had checked before I started walking, but I figure the party should have at least an hour left. I continue walking, go to put my phone in my pocket. I miss, and it tumbles to the ground. I stop to pick it up. The fur on my back on my neck stands up again. I thought I heard footsteps. After I stopped walking, there were echoes, but something about a few of them sounded different. But it had to be an echo, right? No. Why is there a no right there? Hello? I stand up and look behind me, but I don't see anything. I squint my eyes, looking into the blackness, but I can't make anything out. I listen for anything. I think I can hear breathing. But when I try to focus on it, a steady, high-pitched ringing starts to build. The more I try to focus, the louder it gets. I try to focus on anything else other than the sound, but there's nothing to hear. It's gotten so loud that I don't think I'd be able to hear a jet engine at this point. I feel my lungs start to burn, and I release the breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding. I focus on hearing something, anything other than that ringing, that I had ignored everything else. Fuck! Jesus! Oh my god! Ah! Oh my god. When I look back at this chat and see who did it, I'm going to scream at you so much right now. What the fuck, Arden? Ugh. The hell? What the
fuck, Arden? Why'd you do that? I just got into. What the fuck? And no one heard that on the YouTube end or here, just me. I still hear the sound effects. I inhale the night air, pierced by the sound of my breathing being released. Oh my god, I must be going crazy. I take one last look around and start back towards the church again. I'm crying. Once I step out of the light, I swear I can hear footsteps start up behind me again. Jesus fucking Christ. I focus on steadying my breathing and listening for any out of place sounds again. Love you too, Arden. Jesus. Crazy. I keep my head low and try to catch a glimpse of anything out of the corner of my eyes. I look ahead to see how far I am from the church and my heart sinks. I'm not even close. I look towards the houses on the side of the road, but only one remains between me and the church. It's still a few street lamps away. Even in the dark, I can't see that it's a dilapidated mess and no lights shine from inside it. There are trees growing all around it and overtaking what's left of the house. I considered running and hiding in there, but there's no guarantee the doors are unlocked. Or worse yet, maybe that's the person who's following me lives. Just keep walking. I can't see anyone, so it might be all in my head. Even if it is someone following me, who's to say it isn't someone from the church? That would make them a good person, right? I make it under another street light, and another. I pass under another two before I make it in front of the dilapidated house. Just then I hear a ragged breathing coming from behind me, and I spin around with a yelp. But there's no one there. A whine escapes my throat as I look into the darkness. Shouldn't I be relieved that there's no one there? But I can still hear that ragged breathing. It sounds like it's coming from everywhere. I can hear it to my left, but I can't see anything. I look to my right, but I don't see anything. I'm spinning around, looking in all directions, but I can't see anything. I turn my back towards the light pole and I slowly back up. Tears fill my eyes.
Hello? Is anyone there? This isn't funny.
I jump in surprise when my back touches the light pole. I can hear those ragged breathing coming from my right and moving to my left, just out of the light. I shift on my feet and I can hear his footsteps echoing in the darkness.
Hello?
That's when I see something. I think I can see him moving around in the darkness. A tall, lanky figure. He bends down and starts to walk on all fours, but what I can make out disappears into the darkness again. It can be heard pacing around me as it starts to come closer to the light pole. I turn and back myself into the middle of the shining light. I hug my arms to my chest and whimper. I don't know where it is anymore. Wherever it is, I try to listen again, but the terrible ringing pierces my ear. I feel my face crunch up and tears run down my cheeks. I feel another whimper escape my throat and I look around into the night. I look back towards Echo and I see the car driving towards me and I feel a sense of hope wash over me. I start to look around and make sure the thing isn't going to grab me out of the shadows. I start to wave down the car, but it pulls closer. But as it pulls closer, the light dim. I can see who's in it. My heart sinks and I back away towards the light pole as I glimpse the silhouette of horns in the driver's seat and a bright red eye looking back at me. I stumble backwards away from the car. It pulls up next to me and rolls the window down. Are you... what? DJ?
Carl?
What the fuck? Oh my god. Ugh. Let me eat this. My god. Stress. Ow. Oh, I bit my cheek. Carl nods in a manner that says, the one and only. He pulls a cigarette out of his mouth. What are you doing? I let out a sigh of relief and rush forward, grabbing at the door handle. Whoa! Whoa there, Teach. I gotta unlock the door first. I fiddle with the handle and Carl... Ah! Fuck. Okay. Alright. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. I really need to get that fan fixed. Soon. We're gonna get it done soon. I fiddle with the handle and Carl tells me to stop so he can open the door. I force myself to let go and I look around afraid that something is going to jump out at me right before I can reach safety. I can smell something bad in the air now, like someone who hasn't bathed in months or a rotting dead animal. It's closer now. I hear the doors click open. I scramble for the handle again. I can hear Carl mention the door being open and that I could sit in the front if I'd like, but I ignore him, too focused on getting inside the car. Yanking on the door, I step back to make room for it to swing around. In that moment, I feel a presence and my hair rises on my neck. I rush to get into the back seat, and as I look down for the step, I swear I can see a shadowy hand reaching from under the car. I quickly jump into the back seat and slam the door shut. Carl looks back at me with a smile. Oh, what are you doing out here, Teach? You feeling all right? Without looking at him, I mumble something about needing to walk. I'm still too busy checking to make sure nothing is waiting outside the car watching us or trying to get in. I feel a shifting in my seat and the car starts to move. I take in a deep inward breath and let out a sigh of relief. I turn and look back over my shoulder at where I was trapped a few moments ago. I blink a few times to clear my eyes and I can blurrily see the silhouette of a lanky, misshapen person standing just outside of the light. But we pulled too far away for me to make anything out clearly. I turn back and lean my head back into the headrest and I close my eyes, feeling them well up with tears. I jump when Carl starts talking again. So, TJ, what the heck are you doing out here anyway? Did something happen? I just needed to clear my mind, so I went for a walk. All the way out here? I was at the church. I point out the windows into the side of the car it would be on, but we're already past it and into Peyton. I think about telling him what just happened, but I can't figure out how to explain it right now. Carl keeps asking me questions all the while, and I tell him about my evening, the party, Sarah, Chase, and Leo. I leave out everything that happened after I left the church for a reason I can't explain. I decided to focus on the part where Chase getting on my nerves, and he just laughs it off, saying that that's just how Chase and Leo are. He asks again if he should drop me off back at the church, and I tell him no, almost too quickly. I don't want to go back there, but I don't want to be alone. So instead, I ask him if I can go over to his place for a bit. He replies with an ecstatic, "Of course!" Oh. And I messaged Leo and Chase to let them know. He mentions that he was going into Peyton to buy a new game that just came out. He laughs, saying he hopes I don't mind if we have to wait a bit for it. I mumbled that that's fine, as long as the place we're going is well lit. I feel my soul leaving my body every time I play this now. Oh my god. My body is leaving my soul, guys. May 2012. Hold up. Double checking the live feed real quick. Gotta keep checking because literally the fan just blew out. Also, I said my body's leaving my soul. It's my soul leaving my body. Ugh! My body might as well leave as well. Jesus. Crying. I pull up to an old fast food joint in my shitty old truck. The fan blasting hot air, desert air. You know, I'm gonna finish this snack. Oh my god. All right, drink coffee. I look around the some big parking lot, but I don't see Chase's car yet. Taking out my phone, I check the time and scan through the messages. He told me he got out for lunch 15 minutes ago, but it's 20 minutes later now. There's a little pang of worry, mostly because I know how shitty a driver Chase is, but he's usually late, so I quash that. I give my pits a quick check. Driving around with a broken AC, it's fucking torture in this weather. But the antiperspirant seemed to be holding up alright. After giving them a quick sniff, I recline and put my paws behind my head to air out and maybe catch a quick nap. Sure, it's a pain in the ass having to come down here whenever I'm this tired. Dad's working me to the goddamn bone, and the restaurant is on the opposite side of Payton. But seeing Chase makes it worth it. It isn't often that we get to have lunch together. The lunch hour being as short as it only gives us about 20 minutes to really talk. I'm starting to doze off when I hear a knock on my window. Oh. I think we're getting to that point, guys. The tape adhesive, the electric tape adhesive is melting and not sticking together because it's on the exhaust fan holding it together by plastic tubing. So most likely I'm going to have to swap that out at some point. But I think we're going to save it here and we'll continue this next time. For those on YouTube, as per usual, stay comfy and cozy, and I hope you guys be comfy, be cozy, and always be safe. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and do the whole rigmarole, and let me know how excited you're going to be when we play Arches. But yeah. So, with that being said, we are going to end the YouTube side of the stream in just a moment. Oh my god. Yeah, I think my computer literally telling me like, you need to turn off the computer and you need to fix these tapings because you need this to survive one more week before you go. Ugh. All right. So yeah, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon for more like visual novels and D&D shit. I promise we'll get back to editing videos once we increase the size of my storage for an external or RAM. But yeah, again, we will end the YouTube side. We're currently on Twitch, so catch us on there. All right, bye bye.